हरे हरे। प्रभुपाद की जय। जय राधा माधवा, जय कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा, जय गिरिवरधारी, जय गिरिवरधारी, जय यशोधानन्दना, जय व्रज जनरञ्जना, जय यमुनतीरवनचारी, जय कुञ्ज बिहारी, जय राधा माधवा, जय कुञ्ज बिहारी। Shri Radha Madhav ki jai, Shri Radha Rani ki jai. Sing now there are two Krishna Ashtakams it looks like, but this one is Adi Shankaracharya's from Bhakti Stotra Astokara. So sing this one. भजे व्रजैकमण्डनं समस्तपापखण्डनं स्वभक्तचित्तरञ्जनं सदैव नन्दनन्दनं सुपिच्चगुच्चमस्तकं सुनादवेणुहस्तकं अनङ्गरङ्गसागरं नमामि कृष्णनागरम् मनोजगर्वमोचनं विशाललोललोचनं विदूतगोपशोचनं नमामि पद्मलोचनं करारविन्दभूधरं स्मितावलोकसुन्दरं महेन्द्रमानदारणं नमामि कृष्णवारणम् कदम्बशूलकुण्डलं सुचारुगन्धमण्डलं गजाङ्गनैकवल्लभं नमामि कृष्णदुर्लभम् यशोदया समोदया गोपया सनन्दय युतं सुखैकनायकं नमामि गोपनायकम् सदैव पादपङ्कजं मदीयमानसे निजं दधानमुत्तमालकं नमामि नन्दबालकम् समस्तदोषशोषणं समस्तलोकपोषणं समस्तगोपमानसं नमामि कृष्णलालसम् भुवो भरावतारकं भवाब्धिकर्णधारकं यशोमतीतिशोरकं नमामि दुग्धचोरकं गृगन्तक्रन्तभङ्गिनं सदा सदालिसङ्गिनं दिने दिने नवं नवं नमामि नन्दसम्भवम् गुणाकरं सुखाकरं कृपाकरं कृपावरं सुरद्विषन्निकन्दनं नमामि गोपनन्दनं नवीनगोपनागरं नवीनकेलिलं पटं नमामि मेघसुन्दरम् तडित्प्रभालसत्पटं समस्तगोपनन्दनं हृदम्बुजैकमोहनं नमामि कुञ्जमध्यगं प्रसन्नभानुशोभनं निकामकामदायकं दृगन्तचारुसायकं रसालवेणुगायकं नमामि कुञ्जनायकम् विदग्धगोपिका मनोज्ञतल्पशायिनं नमामि मुञ्चकानने प्रवृद्धभक्तिपायिनं यदा तदा यथा तथा तथैव कृष्णसत्यता मया सदैव गीयता तथा कृपा विधीयता प्रमाणिकाष्टकद्वयं जपत्याद्य आदित्यय उमा भवेत् सनन्दनन्दने भवे भवे सुभक्तिमा भवेत् सनन्दनन्दने भवे भवे सुभक्तिमा भवे भवे सुभक्तिमा. If I have time for translation, I'll read the translation, Prabhuji. Do I have the time for translation? Hello?
Hare Krishna, Sharat Prabhuji. Do we read the translation?
Yes.
Eternally I worship Lord Krishna, who is Nanda's son. Sorry. Who is Nanda's son, who breaks all sins into pieces and who delights the devotees' hearts. I offer my humble, respectful obeisances to the hero Lord Krishna, whose head is decorated with peacock feathers and whose hand holds a melodious flute and who is an ocean of Kamadeva's pastimes. I offer my respectful obeisances to lotus-eyed Lord Shri Krishna, who frees Kamadeva of his pride, whose large eyes are very restless, and who shakes away the Gopa's sadness. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Shri Krishna, whose lotus hand lifted Govardhana hill, whose smiling glance is charming, and who ripped Indra's pride into shreds. I offer my obeisances to Lord Shri Krishna, who is difficult to attain, who wears a kadamba flower earring, the circle of whose cheeks is very charming, and who is the only beloved of Raja girls. I offer my humble, respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna, who is a playful cowherd boy and who, in the company of Yashoda, Nanda, and Gopa people, enjoys pastimes that delight them all. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna, who is Nanda's small boy and who eternally places his kumkuma anointed lotus feet in my heart. I offer my respectful obeisances to cheerful Lord Krishna, who dries up all faults, makes all worlds prosper, and stays in the thoughts of all Gopa people. I offer my humble respectful obeisances to the milk-feet Lord Krishna, who removed the earth's burden, who is the captain of the ship across the ocean of birth and death, and who is Yashoda's teenage son. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna, who is Nanda's son, who casts crooked glances from the corner of his eyes, who always stays with the gopis, and who day after day enjoys newer and newer pastimes. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Sri Krishna, who is a jewel mine of transcendental qualities, a jewel mine of transcendental bliss, a jewel mine of mercy, who defeats the demigod's enemies and who delights the cowherd boys, cowherd people. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna, who is a young hero of the cowherd people, who is a playful young rake, who is handsome and dark like a monsoon cloud, and whose yellow garments glisten like lightning. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna, who delights all the cowherd people, who charms the devotees' lotus hearts, who stays in forest groves, and who is splendid like a glistening sun. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna, who fulfills all desires, whose sidelong glances are charming arrows, whose flute music is nectar, and who is the amorous hero of the forest days. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna, who reclines in the charming couch of the wise gopis' hearts, and who drank up a forest fire in Munjatavi forest. I pray that whenever and however I sing his glories, Lord Krishna will be merciful to me. I pray that whoever reads or recites these 8 prayers will be fervently devoted to Nanda's son, devoted birth after birth. Hare Krishna. Shri Adi Shankaracharya ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. I welcome all the devotees to the today's session. Today we will be studying lesson 150. But before that, before we start the class, let us offer our prayers, Guru Pranam and the other mantras. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं त्वजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्य च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्य वैष्णवेभ्य नमो नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं जयतां सुरतो पोङ्गुर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बुजौ राधामदनमोहनौ दिव्याद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमा श्रीमद्रत्नाङ्गरसिंहासनस्थितौ श्रीमद् राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ पृष्ठालिभिसेव्यमानं स्मरामि श्रीमान् प्रासरसारम्भे वंशीवटतटस्थित कर्षणवेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रियस्तु नः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. Now we will offer our obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the six Goswamis of Vrindavan. नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतिसे नमः. O most beneficent incarnation, your Krishna himself appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Krishna Vannam Tusa Krishnam Sangopangostra Parsadam Yagge Sankirtana Praye Rejayanti Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Nana Shastra Vicharana Kai Nipunam Sadharma Samstapako Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manya Saranya Karo Radha Krishna Padara Vinda Bhajanan Anandena Mattaliko Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugo Sri Jiva Gopalako. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the divine couple, Sri Radha and Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiret नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. With this, I once again welcome all the devotees to the today's session, that is lesson 150. But before we start the class, let us have a recap of the previous class, which was covered on Friday.
Hare Krishna, I'm just sharing the screen. Just give me a minute.
Yes, yes.
Why it is taking time? Okay. Yes, Prabhu, it came up, I guess. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji's Mataji's Dhanvat Pranam. Hare Krishna. I don't have any qualification to do any recap. Okay, it is just the mercy of His grace. Sharad Prabhu, Charu Prabhuji, just by their instruction, I am doing it. Absolutely, I don't have any qualification. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So we are doing the recap of 149. So between 149 and 150, we have these two themes, which is the destination of those who are inimical to the worship of Lord Hari. That is the first theme. And then second one is Sri Karam Bhajana, complexions, names, forms, and modes of worship of Yogavatras. That is what we are seeing in these two chapters, which we happened on Friday and today. So let's enter into the themes, okay, and then have a quick recap. Hope the slides are moving. Okay, yeah. So the first theme, okay, theme one, that is the consequences of hostile behavior towards Lord Hari. So one of the simplest question is, what are the consequences of the hostile behavior towards Lord Hari if somebody has, and his devotees? If somebody has hostile behavior towards Lord Hari and his devotees, according to this particular thing. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण लक्ष्मण माता जी।
अगर जो
Go ahead,
भगवान को भजता नहीं है, भगवान की तरफ उसको एनिमिकल बिहेवियर है, तो उसका डिक्लाइन ही होता है, उसका स्पिरिचुअली कभी भी ग्रोथ नहीं हो सकता है, और मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में भी वो बहुत ही मिजरी को पाता है और डिफिकल्टीज बहुत बारंबार आती है, तो उसको मतलब ये लोक में भी वो सुखी नहीं रह पाएगा और परलोक में भी सुखी नहीं रह पाएगा।
Yes, yes. Yes, Mataji, what you have mentioned is absolutely correct. But like Prabhuji has used one word, very interesting word. Okay, one of the word what Prabhuji has used. The Lord, okay, the hostile behavior towards Lord Hari, especially towards his devotees. Okay, Sharad Prabhuji has used one word, makes the Lord most unhappy. Yeah. Yes or
Yes,
no?
Prabhuji, very true.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So once he is unhappy, what are the consequences? What happens to us? Anybody wants to try? What are the consequences?
Suffering,
Where will he
complete
go?
suffering.
Where we will go? Yeah, complete suffering. Okay. So, and we lose the senses as well. Yes or no? Yeah. And we will not have any control. Where we will go, as Sharad Prabhu mentioned. Prabhuji explicitly mentioned where we will go.
Hellish planet.
Hell is planet. Yes, yes, yes. So thank you, Mataji. Wonderful. Yeah. So let's move to the next theme. The essence of human creation and Varnashrama Dharma. So I'll ask a very, very basic question. What is the purpose of human creation and ultimate aim for the spiritual practices according to this theme? What is the main purpose of human creation? Well, Prabhuji has explained in a very detailed way. Alternative. Go ahead, Mataji. Go ahead.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Yes, I have not read the chapter because due to net problem. But the person who मनुष्य जन्म जो मिला है वो उसको अपना जीवन का जो ध्येय है, परम ध्येय है, क्योंकि इसी जन्म में वो अपना गॉड की भक्ति कर सकता है, अपने कर्मों को सुधार सकता है एंड वो हाई प्लेनेट में जा सकता है। और this is, I think, the main purpose is this only, to get the aim of the life, to improve the karmas only.
Yeah. Yeah,
और
yeah.
जो सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन प्रोसेस में नहीं जाता है,
हाँ.
स्पिरिचुअलिटी में आगे नहीं बढ़ता है, वो स्पिरिचुअल
Yes.
सुसाइड करता है, ऐसा है.
Yes, Prabhuji has clearly explained that the key word over here is self-realization. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji, Raksha Mataji. Yeah. So another question I will ask, a follow-up question on this. Why did Krishna has created Varnashrama Dharma as described in this theme? What is the reason? Why did he create it?
Varnashram dharma is the person who is living in grest life. He can fulfill his dharma, means responsibilities, and doing spiritual practices also. Can do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a very generic answer, Rajkumar Mata. There's no doubt. Thank you for that. So Prabhuji has used
जो भी आश्रम में हम रहे, हमारे एम वही होना चाहिए, हरितोषणम. सब जो भी कार्य करे वो हरितोषणम के लिए करे, इसीलिए धर्म वर्णाश्रम धर्म का स्थापना किया है भगवान ने.
Yes, yes.
And also to create harmony in his creation, he created this Varnashram.
Yes, yes. It's more of a structured approach Krishna has created. Okay. Everybody mentioned that it is for our purification. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for contribution by everybody. Yeah. So let's move to the next slide. What is this? The theme 3, the compassion of enlightenment souls. So the question will be here. So what is the responsibility of those who possess the knowledge in the context of this enlightened, compassion? What is the responsibility? It's a big responsibility, as Prabhuji has explained.
To have compassion towards every jiva.
And
One
on
should
top of
be,
that,
Prabhuji, one should be enlightened persons should be compassionate towards women and Sudras and to the persons who doesn't know about devotion, and they should encourage them.
yes, this is yes. Prabhuji explicitly mentioned in this theme also mentioned the women and Sudras, should have the more compassion because they are more fallen spiritually, and should distribute the knowledge,
Because they are
irrespective of the
ignorant.
social status, yes, Mataji, thank
But
you very
at the
much.
same time, it is a high chance that they can uplift themselves very fast under the association of devotee.
Under the association devotees, perfect. Yes. You all wonderfully understood the theme.
Unlighted souls know that there is a God in every jiva, and we are the part and parcel of that God. So that they know and they show their compassion, sympathy, and they have the feeling of brotherhood. All these feelings they have, unlighted souls, because they know everything about where is the God. God is everywhere. God is in every living being.
Yes, thank you very much. So let's move to the next theme, that is diverse paths of worship across yugas. So everyone can answer this particular thing, and Prabhuji also explained in a very nice way. What specific form of worship is highlighted importance for this Kali Yuga?
More of it we will be learning in today's class.
Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
In Kali Yuga Sankirtana movement.
Yes.
Congregation
But more we will
chanting.
be learning. Yeah, more we'll be learning in today's class as well.
Yes,
Thank you.
today's.
Thank you. Yeah, let's move to the next slide. Okay, thank you very much for wonderful participations. So I'm expecting others also to participate. So slide 4, theme 5, the true refuge of devotional service. The true refuge of devotional service. So what this particular theme describes as an ultimate refuge in our life, and how do we achieve that? Everyone can answer. If you just see the theme for 1 minute, you'll be able to answer. What describes the ultimate refuge in our life? What is ultimate refuge for us? Where we take the surrender?
Lord, we have to take surrender on Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari in the form of Rama, Krishna, or Vishnu, and
Perfect.
should try to be free from the shackles of material existence.
Yes. Yes. And what should be our mode? Prabhuji has explained very clearly. What should be our mode? Okay, for that
We
service.
have to surrender and develop humility and rely and align ourselves on divine will.
Yes, dasanu dasan. That should be the mode. Yes, that is what you also, Akshara has explained. Thank you, Mataji. Very wonderful. Moving to the next theme, the depth of divine relationship. How does the theme, okay, illustrate? There is a word called richness and complexity of the divine relationships. Okay, using the examples of Narada instructions to Vasudeva about Lord Krishna. So, what is it he has explained? Narada Maharshi on this richness and complexities.
And
Go ahead, Mataji. Deepti Mataji, go ahead. You are giving a very good light.
Narada said to Vasudeva that you should accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, but not just as a son.
Yeah.
And you should have awe and reverence
Yeah.
for the
Very
deeper
nice, Mataji.
realization.
Yeah, you just hit the point. Mataji, are you writing any notes while you are listening the session? You are just giving the exact right point, Deepti Mataji.
No, Prabhuji, I am just listening.
Yeah, very nice. Wonderful. Really appreciate it. Okay, moving to the next slide. Here we have understood in this particular theme, devotion versus non-devotion. Okay. So what happens to the people who are devoted to Lord Hari compared to those who are not devoted to Lord Hari? Anyone can answer this. It's very easy. Like anyone can contribute. What
जो
happens to the
डिवोटी
people who are...
परफॉर्म करते हैं डिवोशनल सर्विस, वो एक ब्लिस का अनुभव करते हैं, आनंद का अनुभव करते हैं, और जो मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में जो कोई करते हैं वो जो आनंद का अनुभव करते हैं वो बहुत ही टेम्पररी होता है, फ्लीचिंग होता है.
It could be even a 1 second. Yeah, Kshanabhag, it could be even 1 second.
Yes, Prabhu.
With the material desires. Yes, yes. Wonderful action, Mataji. Thank you very much. Yeah,
और जो सूखा भी होता है वो कवरिंग होता है, जो दुख का कवरिंग जो है, कवरिंग है.
Yes, yes.
Devotee is always in bliss, and the person who is not non-devotee, that always is in suffering, always miserable.
Yes.
This is the main difference.
Deep spiritual happiness will be there. Somebody has devoted Lord Hari. So that is what is we are talking. Very wonderful, Mataji. Thank you very much. So the next theme is Varnashrama Dharma. Okay. So we little discussed in the previous, okay, but again this particular theme came. Okay, so why did Lord has created? I think to a great extent you all answered. Okay, it's more created like a for our self growth. Okay, depending upon our level, it has been we took birth in that particular stage, but it has a equal opportunities for everybody. Yeah, so a structure has been created. Okay, that is what has been explaining this particular thing. Let's move to the next theme. That is theme 3, consequences of ignorance and atheism. What happens to the people who disrespect or don't know about Supreme Lord? What happens to those people who disrespect or don't know about Supreme Lord?
They are moving towards the hellish planet and continuous death and birth cycle. They are suffering into that samsara, death and birth cycle, again and again.
Yes. So we know it. Okay, we have the faith to a great extent. To improve our faith, we are hearing this Shastra. And there is so much responsibility on our shoulders to share this knowledge. Rakshana Mataji. Agree?
Yes,
Everyone
Prabhu.
agree with that?
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is what we all should do. Yeah. So it's a very important points Prabhuji has mentioned. So next, theme 4, materialism versus spirituality. How does the theme compare the focusing on material things versus spiritual practices? How does the theme compare? Focusing on the material things versus spiritual practices.
In materialism is there are suffering, and if there is any happiness, that is very short, very temporary. But
Yeah. Why that suffering comes is the question. Why that suffering comes? There is one keyword Prabhuji has used. Wonderful keyword. You have
Because-
money, you have very social status, and that
Because-
we are attached to. Bondage is there for us, correct? Yeah. Go ahead, Mataji. Go ahead.
Pardon, Prabhuji. The question. Please repeat the question.
Question. How does this theme compare focusing on material things versus spiritual practices? It's compared, no? Materialism versus spiritual practices.
Materialism is the person is always in suffering. He cannot surrender to anyone. If we surrender our misery is to someone, to thinking that there is some great, there is a Bhagwan, so our miseries are become less and less. But the person who is in spiritualism, that he believes in God, and he believes he knows everything. He's awakened and knows that these sufferings are due to some our prarabdha or karma, and we have to face. Then the misery becomes very less, and बहुत आराम से वो अपना उनको पेशेंस के साथ उनको करता है, लाइफ को बिताता है.
Yes,
मुझे
yes.
यही लगता है प्रभुजी.
Prabhuji, material things are futile and they are ephemeral. That means they are fleeting. If we have prestige, money, or status, that will fleet, that will deplete one day. But spiritual things are always eternal, and we enjoy the eternal peace and peace of the mind, and rely upon the divine.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Let's move to the next theme.
And one advantage is also, okay, in next life also we continue our devotional services from which where we are left in previous life.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, Mataji.
and Prabhuji also had said one should not remain attached to any institution or nation or our material positions,
Correct.
etc.
Correct. Prabhuji has clearly mentioned. Yeah. Be there in the country, respect the country, but you don't need to be too attached. Okay, that is what Prabhuji has mentioned. Yeah. Let's move to the next slide. Slide 8. The role of spiritual master. So why it is important to have a spiritual master and what is their role, okay, in our life? These are explained very wonderful points. Maybe you can share 1 or 2 points. Everyone can share 1 or 2 points. I'm expecting others also to participate.
Without spiritual master, we can't reach to our goal. We can't reach to our goal. We can't reach at the point of bhakti, because for bhakti, to reach at the high level of bhakti, the guidance of spiritual master is must.
Because spiritual master is a representative of the Lord, and he is a pure devotee of Lord also, and he knows the full knowledge about the Brahman and Paramatma and Bhagwan. So he can guide. He is our navigator, so he can show a clear path towards spirituality.
Yes, because our intelligence is very limited. Yeah. So we have to depend on Guru, as you all mentioned. Yeah. Discipline succession is one word. Sharad Prabhuji has emphasized very clearly.
Bona fide spiritual master.
Bona fide spiritual.
Yes, Prabhuji.
That's very, very important. Yeah. So the Guru will explain us the deeper understanding of about Supreme Lord. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, the next one is the mercy of the Lord and his devotees. Can anyone receive the Lord mercy? And what is the role devotees play in this? Can anyone receive the Lord mercy? Is it possible? And what is the role of devotees?
Yes, Prabhuji. We can achieve the mercy of the Lord, but his devotees' mercy is more important. Because of his devotees' mercy, we can achieve the Lord mercy also.
And also Prabhuji's mentioned very one wonderful word. Devotees are even more compassionate than Supreme Lord himself. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes,
Prabhuji has
Prabhuji.
mentioned.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Prabhuji.
So we receive that mercy through
Prabhuji,
his devotees. Yeah.
we are all devotees, and I just for example, I'm getting the mercy of all of you, and I in the form of I am getting the mercy of Lord Krishna in the form of all of you, all Mataji and Prabhuji. This is the mercy.
Therefore, so you are so humble,
Prabhuji,
Mataji.
can I add something here?
Yes, yes, Mataji. Please, yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, please go ahead. Prabhuji. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. This is a very good point here, you know. So, in order to, who is the personification, embodiment of Krishna Bhakti? And that is the reason why we should worship that personality. And through that personality, we get Krishna Prema Bhakti. Who is that personality?
Guru.
Sorry?
Our Guru is that personality.
Yeah,
Through him,
Guru is the representative, that's sure. But who is the Bhakti personified? Bhakti Devi. Who is Bhakti Devi? Really?
Srimati Radharani.
Exactly. That's right. So Krishna himself says that I can be obtained through Sri Radhe. And that's why all Krishna devotees worship Sri Radhe and Sri Radhe's group. That's, Sakhis and Manjaris. And those are our real gurus, representative of the gurus, actually. Guru Pranali comes from that. Right?
Yes.
And she's much more merciful than even Shri Krishna.
Yes.
Through Guru to Manjari to Sakhi to Radha.
Yeah. Thank
Yes,
you.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji, for adding in contribution. Yeah. Thank you very much. So moving to the next theme, slide 9, and illusion and reality. So how does this explain the difference between illusion and reality? Illusion is, that is Maya, and reality. How does this theme explains? Okay, what is the difference between illusion and reality?
One chases false identities and transient relationships, and which ultimately results in a suffering when somebody is lost and gets ensnared in illusion. And it is fleeting, as material world is fleeting, and the illusory condition in sharp contrast with the spiritual path. And this illusion, we do call it as Maya, and it urges individuals to seek the ultimate truth beyond the superficial attachments.
So you want to protect from Maya, what is that we should do?
we must
to
be
do one thing.
connected to the Lord.
Ah.
Maya always prohibit us to be
yeah.
connected with Lord, and that also helps us to realize the true reality and accept Lord as the ultimate truth.
Ultimate truth. Yeah. Lotus
देवी
feet
एषा
of
गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्वया मामेव
Durapaya.
प्रपद्यते
Yes.
मायामितं तरन्ति ते.
I am
Why
expected
does
that
why does she appears to take us away from Krishna? Any reason for that?
Because of our desire, we want to
Yes, correct.
more and more. We want to enjoy more and more. So
So if you
she
want
gives all facilities also.
exactly. So if we want to enjoy our own desires, material desires and everything, that we cannot do unless and until we turn our face away from Krishna. So she facilitates that
Yes.
part of it, so that because that's the only way. If we turn away from Krishna and that she allows that to do that, then only we can carry out our material desires, or at least try.
At least
That not
yes.
necessarily it will fulfill, or it will not necessarily anyway, because there's never ever satisfaction in material desires. I will.
Yes, Prabhuji,
Thank
very true.
Very true.
मगर अगर हम कृष्णा की ओर जाना चाहते हैं तो भी वो हमें मदद करते हैं. अगर
Yes.
someone wants to go
Exactly.
towards Lord, तो भी वो हमें मदद करते हैं माया देवी,
And
योग माया के रूप में.
she is the expansion of Yogamaya.
योग
So
माया
how
के.
does Yogamaya also does bewildering duty, but how does she, how Yogamaya works? And to
योग
know
माया जो है डिवोटी को bewilder करती है
exactly.
to perform
You
the
will-
लीला properly. That's why.
Yes, correct. Absolutely. Thank you, Rakshamataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So let's move to the next theme. This is more on Sloka 1 to 18 on Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur comments. So let's quickly wrap it up. The first theme is worship of the Supreme Lord. Why worshipping the Supreme Lord considered is so essential, and what happens if you neglect it? What happens if you neglect it? And why it is so essential?
माया से
So
बचने
these
के लिए
are-
प्रभु जी, क्योंकि माया तो एक तरह से हमें टेम्परेरी हैप्पीनेस देती है और उसके बाद हम सफरिंग ही सफरिंग हम पाते हैं. सो इस वजह से जरूरी है.
Material desire and ignorance can be removed by bhakti and having deep connection with divine. So it is very much
Spiritual elevation के लिए बहुत जरूरी है और genuine self understanding, self realization process. अगर जब तक वो नहीं करेंगे तब तक हम आगे नहीं बढ़ पाएंगे और भक्ति नहीं कर पाएंगे.
Yes.
And
Thank
we
you.
are we are detached from Maya, and जो attachment is the only reason for suffering. So as we worship to Supreme Lord, we become detached from all these Maya and all these sufferings.
Yes, Mataji.
And
So
other
Prabhuji has
distinction
used
of,
one word.
what is the other distinction between Yogamaya and Mahamaya? The major distinction.
Yog Maya is extension power of Krishna, and
Yeah, she is a potency of Krishna.
Internal and
But
external.
what is
Internal and external.
exactly? That's right. That's
Internal
point.
and external.
Internal potency.
Internal potency and external.
And Maya is external potency.
External potency.
So there are three components of Yogamaya, right? That facilitates us going towards making progress on bhakti process. What are the three internal elements of internal potency, Yogamaya? Very
Samvit,
important.
Sandhini and Ahladini potency.
Yeah. Can you translate that? English?
Yes, Prabhuji. Sandhini potency is which gives the knowledge about Lord.
No.
Samvit
Sandhini Shakti is
potency gives.
eternity. Eternity. Once the bhakti starts, it never
Yes,
ends. It
it is.
continues going forward. Then the knowledge potency is what is called?
Samvit.
Samavit Shakti, yes.
Samavit Shakti.
That gives the potency or knowledge by which we can come closer and closer to Krishna. And the third potency, what's that third potency?
Ahladini potency.
Yes. So
which give the bliss.
Exactly. Doing bhakti process
It's internal.
is never like a chore or a drag. Always we enjoy, no matter what,
Yes.
how hard, everything is done with great pleasure.
Yes.
Haribol, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank
छोटे
you.
भी छोटी सेवा होती है फिर भी बहुत आनंद आता है प्रभु जी.
Exactly, that's
Yes.
great. Haribol.
Yes. Thank you. We're
I'm
running
sorry,
out
I'm
of time.
sorry interrupting. Prabhuji, are you? I'm
No
taking your
problem,
time.
Prabhu. This is more of interaction. We need a
प्रभु जी, it is more important, प्रभु जी.
No,
Yeah, but
sorry,
I must let him do his work, Okay, continue,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Are
thank
we
you,
done?
Prabhu. You
Done?
just left with 2 slides only. Okay, we are
Okay,
almost
alright.
finishing.
Yeah, please, Prabhu. Please continue.
Yeah. The consisting of the next theme is going to be on theme 3, that is consequences of disrespecting divine. So we have seen to a great extent these basically like hellish planets, okay, totally unethical. Okay, anybody wants to comment on these things, like what are the consequences mentioned in the theme for disrespecting the divine or neglecting worship? Yeah. Anybody wants to comment? One comment. So we'll wrap it up quickly.
We'll
go ahead,
fall
Mata.
from our spiritual position and we'll suffer lifelong, and then we'll go to hellish planet.
Yeah. Okay. Materialism versus spirituality also will be discussed multiple times. Similar points will be there. And then we are at a last slide now, okay, that is ignorance and misguided practices. So how does the ignorance and misinterpreting the religious text leads to negative outcomes? Negative outcomes, Prabhuji has explained. Yeah, there are some practices where we do, but like it will impact a negative outcome. Yeah, so he has given examples as well in that particular session against animals. I'm just giving the hints.
In Vedic rituals, there is the killing of animal is supported,
Yes.
and also drinking wine is supported, but those things are wrong practice.
Yes, you hit the right examples, Mataji. Dipti Mataji, you're hearing very carefully and remembering those points, and again sharing it in our recap. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dipti Mataji. Yeah. The last and final theme, mercy and compassion towards the ignorant. Okay. So why is compassion is important towards who are ignorant or misled, and how should it should be shown on those?
This compassion should be shown to ignorant by bringing them to spiritual path, by making them know what is divine mercy, and by teaching them about the divinity and bhakti.
Yes, utilizing all the opportunities in our life with the society and and through our behavior, changing the people or sharing our knowledge, depending upon the situations. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. So the last and final slide. Okay, the ultimate goal of life. So what is the ultimate goal of the human existence according to this theme, and how can we achieve it? How can we achieve it?
मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में से ये सफरिंग में से मुक्ति पाने के लिए हमें स्पिरिचुअलाइजेशन भक्ति के पाथ स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा, और हम अंडर द बोनाफाइड गुरु हम ये प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं. दिस इज द अवर गोल ऑफ लाइफ. अगर ये लाइफ टाइम में हम लोग ने भक्ति में नहीं गए तो दिस इज द वेस्ट ऑफ अवर दिस लाइफ टाइम. और दूसरा भी जन्म मालूम नहीं कि दूसरा जन्म में कौन सी गति मिलेगी, वो भी मालूम नहीं है.
Yeah. Thank you very much,
So we have to
Mataji.
use our each and every moment. We have to use our life in that way कि ये लोक में भी हम अच्छे से कर पाए और इन नेक्स्ट लाइफ में भी हम अच्छे से कर पाए भक्ति.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
For a lifetime, it is a sacred opportunity we have received. So one should take the advantage of that.
We should take the advantage. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much. Wonderful recap. Thank you, Char Prabhuji. You also participated.
Thank you.
Some
Thank you. Wonderful job done, Prabhuji.
That is all really helpful. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Well done. And well done
Thank
all the
you.
participants too.
Thank you, Prasad Prabhuji. Thank you very much for doing it so nicely. Now, please remember one thing which we learned in this lesson in slide 3, because that thing is not understood properly by the people, and there is a lot of controversy of why the women and Sudras, they are singled out. Now, this we have to understand and make others understand. We have to follow the Vedic system, that is the Varnasrama Dharma. If you remember in the Bhagavad Gita 335, it is given Swadharma Nidhanam Shreya Paradharma Bhayavaha. You should follow your own dharma. Now, what the Sudra is doing, his Vedic dharma is he is helping the others, other varnas. That's why he does not have any time. That's why our job is to enlighten him, to teach him, to tell him what is to be done, what about the Supreme Lord, our duty, all those things we should teach him. Then another very controversial thing is about women. Now in the Vedic literature, our Vedic literature is very, very specific in defining what are the various responsibilities or tasks of the men and women separately. The women, their main job is to look after the family and be very, very faithful to the husband. Now, by doing only this thing, not even taking the name of the Lord, they can achieve what somebody can do, can reach the Lord's Dhama. The women can reach so easily. These things should be understood. That's why those who do not have a chance to know the things, they should be taught, they should be told. That is what is to be known by us. Okay, thank you very much for participating in the discussion. Now we'll start lesson 150. Now in 49 we saw the Chamasa is telling destination of those who are inimical to the worship of Lord Hari. And in this 150 we'll see Sri Karavanjana. He will be explaining about the complexions, names, forms, and the modes of worship of the Yugavataras, and the concluding remarks we will see. Now, here in this chapter, what is happening? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Hari, he accepts in each of the different yugas various colors, names, forms, and he is worshipped by various prescribed processes which are given in the Shastras. In Satya Yuga, the Lord is of white incarnation. In Treta Yuga, he is red incarnate, he is red in color and four-armed. In Dwapara Yuga, he is dark blue complexion and wears a yellow garment. And in Kali Yuga, he is golden in color and accompanied by associates who are his primary and secondary limbs and his weapons. That is, we are talking of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is busy in Sankirtana Yajna, Sankirtana, Nam Sankirtana. Since age of Kali, all the goals of human life can be achieved only by glorification of the holy name of the Supreme Lord. Who can appreciate the real essence of things and praise Kali Yuga? That's why Kali Yuga is the best yuga out of the four. And it is given in one of the verses. In Kali Yuga, many people in South India, that is in Dravida Desa, in places where the Tambrapani river, that is in Tamil Nadu, Kritamala, as you know, it is given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. After taking bath in river Kritamala, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to a Brahmana's house to take lunch, but he saw that that food was unprepared because the Brahmana had not cooked it. And that story, and after thus he assured the Brahmana that about the Supreme Lord, and that story I am not telling. That then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he proceeded further to South India and finally took bath in river Kritamala. And presently Kritamala river is known as Vagai, and river has three tributaries that is given in the book also. And river Kritamala is also mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam here by Karavanjana Rishi. And also the Kaveri river that you have heard, and Mahanadi is in Odisha. And he is saying that all the people who stay in the sites on the banks of these rivers or in the places where these rivers flow, they are dedicated to the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Now, here how the story starts. Nimi Maharaj is asking the question, in what colors and forms does the Supreme Personality of Godhead appear in different ages? And Karavanjana Rishi replies that each of the four yugas, that is Kreta or Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, the Lord appears with various complexions, various names and forms, and he is worshipped by various processes. In Satya Yuga, the Lord is white in color, he is four-armed, he has matted locks and wears a garment of tree bark. He carries a black deer skin. He wears a sacred thread. He has got prayer beads and a rod and water pot of a brahmachari. This is how he looks like. In Satya Yuga, the people are peaceful, non-envious, friendly to every creature, and steady in all situations. And in Satya Yuga, the people are they are the devotees of the Supreme Lord only, not the demigods. In Satya Yuga, the Lord is glorified by various names also, like Hamsa, Suparna, Vaikuntha, Dharma, Yogeshwara, Iswara, Purusha, Paramatma, like this. Then in Treta Yuga, the Lord appears with a red complexion. And in Treta Yuga also, he has four arms. His hair is golden in color. He wears a triple belt representing initiation into each of the three Vedas, and he is worshipped using the Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda. And in Treta Yuga, those members of the human society who are fixed in dharma or religiosity, they are sincerely interested in achieving the Supreme Lord, the Absolute Truth, and worship Him. And in Treta Yuga, His names are glorified like Vishnu, Yajna, Prasnigarbha, Sarvadeva, Urukrama, Jayanta, Urugaya, like this. And in Dwapara Yuga, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears with a dark blue complexion and he wears yellow garments. And the Lord's body, transcendental body, is marked with this Trivatsa and other distinctive ornaments, and he manifests his personal weapons. And in Dwapara Yuga, men who desire to know the Supreme Lord, who is the Supreme Enjoyer, worship him in the mood of honoring a great king in Aishwarya Bhava. And in this people, like this, in Dwapar Yuga, the Lord is glorified in the universe. And in Kali Yuga, people worship the Supreme Lord by following various regulations of the revealed scriptures. And in the age of Kali, the intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. This verse we sing before every class. And um, that's why the Lord is worshipped, and the Yuga Dharma is Sankirtana Yajna. The Lord Hari is he is glorified by the devotees. And those who are actually advanced in knowledge, they will be able to appreciate the essential value of the age of Kali, not others. They will find so many faults, but the best yuga is the Kali Yuga. Please remember, this is very, very important. This will also come up later on also. The best yuga is the Kali Yuga, and the best Varna is the Sudra. Acha. Such enlightened persons, they will worship in the Kali Yuga, because in this fallen age, all perfections of life can be easily obtained by performance of Sankirtana and nothing else. And indeed, there is no higher possible gain for the human beings who are forced to wander throughout the material world. And should remember that the inhabitants of Satya Yuga and other ages, they eagerly desire to take birth in the age of Kali, since in this age there will be many devotees of the Supreme Lord, and these devotees will appear in various places, but will be especially numerous in South India. in those places which I discussed, I explained earlier. And in the age of Kali, these persons who drink the waters of these holy rivers in the Dravida Desa, such as Tambrapani, Kritamala, Payasvini, the extremely pious Kaveri, Mahanadi, they will almost all be pure-hearted devotees of the Supreme Lord. And one who has thus given up all other engagements and has taken full shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Krishna or Hari, the Supreme Lord is very, very dear to them. And indeed, if such a surrendered soul accidentally commits some sinful activity, the Supreme Lord who is seated within everybody's heart, he is going to forgive. There is no doubt about it. And then Narad Muni is telling Vasudev ji that having heard the signs of devotional service, King Nimi, the king of Mithila or Ayodhya, he felt extremely satisfied, and along with the sacrificial priest, offered the respectful obeisances to the Nava Yogendras, and the perfect sages thereafter they disappeared before the eyes of everybody present, and King Nimi faithfully practiced the various principles which were told by the Nava Yogendras to him, and he achieved the supreme goal of life. Let us go to the next slide. Now, point number 1, divine adaptation across the yugas. Now, since I have given the preliminary, it will be very easy for you to understand now. The Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests in diverse forms and colors throughout each age. Radiant white in Satya Yuga, vibrant red in Treta Yuga, and deep dark blue in Dwapar Yuga, and resplendent golden in Kali Yuga. Each embodiment comes with specific names and distinct worship practices. The names I have also explained. Now, this theme accentuates the divine's remarkable ability to resonate with the evolving spiritual needs of humanity across eras. Now, what happens? The conditions in each yuga is different. That's why the Lord appears in different forms, and the type of practice is also different in different ages. And it showcases the continuity and transformation of devotional practice aligned with the changing consciousness of the society. Like in Kali Yuga, the consciousness of the society is not same as what was in Satya Yuga. Therefore, the things are different. That's why we have to follow what is given in the Shastras and not follow what the people followed in Satya Yuga. We should follow what is to be done in Kali Yuga only. And it illustrates the dual nature of Hari as both immanent and transcendent. We have discussed this many times, demonstrating his capacity to take forms that deeply connect with the spiritual aspirations of people in various ages. This dynamic adaptability reinforces the idea that ultimate objective is to cultivate a meaningful relationship with God through the most suitable avenues. Like say in Satya Yuga, if the spiritual master, Guru has recited the Vedas, then the disciples, they will remember it instantly. They don't have to go and practice it. That is the state. But what is our state in Kali Yuga? It is so difficult to remember even one verse of a Shastra. That's why, because the conditions are different, that's why the various practices are also different. And that's why in Kali Yuga it is said that you take the name of the Supreme Lord, you follow certain basic principles, take name of the Lord, do chanting and do congregational chanting. That's all. That is what is being told, and we should follow that. And devotion is the gateway to liberation, as we have known from many earlier classes. The best thing is to practice devotional service, loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord, Vishnu or Krishna or Hari, and to nobody else, not to the demigods. It is not required. because once the Supreme Lord is worshipped, then the others, they are also satisfied. The demigods are automatically satisfied. There is no need to satisfy them separately. The text elucidated an area of devotional practices suited to each yuga, culminating in the chanting of the holy names in Kali Yuga, heralded as the most accessible and effective means of attaining spiritual enlightenment. Now, this taking the name of the Lord, this chanting, it does not require any qualification for anybody. One is not required to pass any examination in the university to learn this. Anybody and everybody can learn this. It is so simple. The things have been made so simple for this age. And this theme delineates the progressive revelation of worship, showcasing how it is meticulously tailored to meet the capabilities and context of the context of the populace in each era, emphasizing congregational chanting, singing, dancing, that is Sankirtana in Kali Yuga. It is so simple. The focus on simple yet profound practices like chanting affects the merciful nature of God in Kali Yuga. Like Haridas Thakur, he had said, this chanting also should be done loudly. Why? Because there are certain other creatures who are not able to chant, like the trees, the insects, the birds, the animals. Those who are listening, they will also be benefited with this, rendering spiritual advancement attaining for all, regardless of background or qualifications. This inclusivity empowers individuals and instills hope, assuring that the path of enlightenment is within the reach of everyone. We should not ever think that in Kali Yuga everything is bad and it is very, very difficult to reach to be enlightened or to get liberated. But as I told you earlier, it is the easiest in Kali Yuga. That's why we should follow what is given in the Shastra. Then we go to point number 3, the transformative nature of surrendered devotion. Means one should be totally surrendered, fully surrendered to the Supreme Lord. Meaning one should be totally dependent on the Supreme Lord. Think that the Lord will certainly protect me under all circumstances. That is what is surrender. And he should not try to do anything on his own. He should, if you leave everything to the Lord, then the Lord will look after. Like in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, you would have realized that Srivas Acharya, he was not doing anything to earn a living, earn any money, but he was still able to sustain his family and he was spending lavishly. How? Because he was doing devotional service and the Lord was so happy with him. Now, let us see what is given in the slide. The text depicts the status of a surrendered devotee, one who is fully surrendered, not partly, liberated from obligations to demigods. If one is surrendered to the Supreme Lord, one is not required to go to the demigods. But please remember, you have to show respect to the demigods. If you are passing by a temple of a demigod, you should, with folded hands, offer obeisances to him. There should be no doubt about it. To demigods and worldly duties upon seeking refuge at the Lord's lotus feet. And at the same time, we should do our worldly duties. What is our normal day-to-day duty? To look after the family, do a service, earn money. The one should keep on doing that. But in addition, one should do chanting, congregational chanting, devotional service, loving devotional service. And this theme underscores the transformative power of devotion. The power of devotion is very, very powerful. Devotional service, that is, it has got all the powers to get you everything. Where true surrender paves the path to liberation from the shackles of material existence. Here, the main thing is surrendering. emphasizing the Lord's protective embrace over his faithful devotees. If you are surrendered, if you are totally dependent on the Supreme Lord, then it is his responsibility to protect you under all circumstances. The notion that a devotee through surrender is absolved of sins and obligations highlights the deeply personal relationship between the devotee and the divine, central to devotional theism. What it means is that in that state, if the devotee does any, commits any sin or anything wrong, that is pardoned by the Supreme Lord. But please remember that this doing wrong things, it should not be done deliberately. And if by chance one does it, then one should repent. Then only this is applicable, otherwise not. It illustrates Lord's loving nature, prioritizing the welfare of his devotees above all else. Though Lord is totally impartial, he still supports, prioritizes his devotees. He looks after his devotees. This we have seen with so many examples in so many stories given in the Srimad Bhagavatam and others. Then the fourth point, the crucial role of association with the devotees, what we have been learning in Sadhu Sangha. Now the text stresses the immense value of associating with pure devotees, asserting that such fellowship is vital for spiritual growth and comprehension. For our spiritual growth, if we want to grow in this path of devotional service, there is no other way but to associate with the devotees. The best thing is physical association. If that is not possible, which is the case in this age of Kali because of so many such circumstances, then at least by the electronic means, by the scientific means which are available to us, as we are associating with the devotees, and we are totally blessed and we are totally benefited out of this. You would have realized in the last many years of association, attending the classes like this. And this thing accentuates the communal dimension of spiritual practice. It is not single-handed, not individual practice, it is communal practice. It is practice of devotional service altogether, where the encouragement and influence of fellow devotees act as a powerful catalyst for individuals' spiritual journey. Then, if you are in a congregation of the devotees, then you will see others and you will learn. And if you are doing something wrong or committing any mistake, the others will find out and they will guide you. This is what is the importance of congregational association. It reflects the profound interconnectedness amongst devotees. We should remember that all of us are interconnected. The Supreme Lord is sitting in each one of us, including in the animals, in the trees, in the insects, in the birds, everybody. And in their pursuit for divine love and wisdom, reinforcing the idea that spiritual progress often flourishes with a nurturing community and shared experiences. The others, they will share experiences with you. You also share your experiences with the other devotees. If you have difficulties, please ask them. They will guide you like this. Everybody will be benefited, and the bond fosters a sense of belonging and support in the sacred path. Next slide. Kali Yuga, an age of brimming with opportunity. There are a lot of opportunities in this Kali Yuga. It was not so in Satya Yuga. You see, you may say most of our time is being spent in earning money, maintaining ourselves, growing food, like this. What used to be there in Satya Yuga? You'll be surprised to know that in Satya Yuga, there is no requirement for any farmer to till the field and wait for the rains, then grow the vegetables or other corns. It is not done that way. Correct amount of rain used to fall in the correct place, and the plants, they grow on their own. That's why the people do not have to make any effort for that. But you see, we have to make so much effort to just sustain ourselves to eat. But this is what is Kali Yuga, and at the end we are saying we are most fortunate that we have taken birth in the age of Kali, because if we do congregational chanting, if we remember the Supreme Lord, if we take the name of the Lord, if we do sadhu sangha, then you have achieved everything in life. Despite its characterization as morally degraded, Kali Yuga is paradoxically portrayed as particularly conducive to attaining spiritual perfection through the chanting of the holy name, just by chanting of the holy name. That's why we should make it a practice to chant the name of the Supreme Lord 24 hours in a day. You may say, how I am saying 24 hours in a day. If it becomes a practice, then you will be chanting even while you are sleeping or eating. Now, this theme illuminates the paradoxical essence of Kali Yuga, revealing that every of the very conditions deemed adverse can serve as fertile grounds for spiritual awakening and liberation. There are so many faults, but it has got many advantages also in the age of Kali, and we should take that advantage to learn from the Shastras. It offers a hopeful perspective on human existence, suggesting that even in dire circumstances, divine mercy and the potential for transformation are ever present for sincere seekers. If we are sincere in our endeavors, the Lord will personally help us and we will be able to feel it. Now, the power of the divine mercy, the text radiate a recurrent theme of God's merciful disposition. There is nobody in the creation of the Supreme Lord who is as merciful as the Supreme Lord. And more merciful than him are the devotees. They readily forgiving the inadvertent sins of his devotees and relieving them of their burdens. Now you keep on thinking, in our lives we have committed so many sins, we have committed so many blunders, but the Supreme Lord is so kind that he has forgotten them. He has excused us. That's why we are advancing in this path. Otherwise, it would not have been this state. This theme amplifies the compassionate essence of the divine. He is most compassionate not only to human beings, to everybody in his creation, portraying Sri Hari, who is intimately concerned with the welfare of his followers, especially in the challenging landscape of Kali Yuga. He also knows that this Kali Yuga is very difficult, and Kali is exerting influence on anybody and everybody. That's why his mercy is already with us. We should do only what is told to us. It reinforces the principle of grace within devotional practice, where the devotee's earnest efforts harmonized with the divine mercy culminate in spiritual victory. One will be victorious one day, but the essence is one should do it, practice it sincerely. And this unique approach distinguishes devotional theism from the from other spiritual paths, which may emphasize strict rule adherence or solitary personal effort alone. Like for the jnanis, the yogis, like this, there is no requirement to do any yoga and any other thing, do concentration, meditation. These are not required in the age of Kali because it is not conducive to those things. And in conclusion, by exploring these themes, the text reveals the depth of and accessibility of devotion. It is accessible to anybody and everybody. The most grave sinner to anybody else, inviting sincere seekers into a transformative journey within the divine. We should practice that thing. Now let us see the comments of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on all these issues, the divine incarnations in different ages. The text vividly illustrates how the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests in diverse forms and diverse colors across the four yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. This theme powerfully underscores the divine's remarkable adaptability. He is one, but he takes birth in so many forms in different yugas. That is the power of his adaptability to meet the spiritual needs. Why he does this? Because the needs are different in different ages and unique characteristics of humanity throughout the ages. As I told you, the Kali Yuga is most degraded. We do not have such capacity, we do not have such intelligence as people used to have in other ages. That's why what is prescribed for us for this yoga is the congregational chanting, taking the name of the Supreme Lord. It highlights profound concept of divine grace, affirming that Sri Hari assumes forms compatible with the times, ensuring that worship remains accessible to all and preserving the continuity of dharma. Like in other yugas, this worshipping was very, very difficult. But in the age of Kali, it is so easy. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told us by reinforcing the idea of congregational chanting, taking the name of the Lord. The worship practices in each yuga, distinct regulative principles and practices of worship are delineating for each yuga, including meditation in Satya Yuga, which is not possible in Kali Yuga, sacrificial rites in Treta Yuga. Now the rites in Kali Yuga, they are not possible because the Brahmanas, they are not qualified. The ingredients for such sacrifices, they are not available, or they are not so pure as they used to be available in other yugas, culminating in the dynamic practice of congregational chanting, Sankirtana in age of Kali, which can be practiced by anybody and everybody. For that, no qualification is required. By showcasing the evolution of worship practices, this theme reveals the dynamic nature of spiritual expression and emphasizes the necessity of adaptability in religious observances. It powerfully illustrates that spiritual progress is not stagnant. It requires genuine adaptation to the ever changing conditions of society, promoting inclusivity and relevance in spiritual practices. That's why the Supreme Lord, He sends His devotees in different ages to guide us. Like you would have seen what Kabir 500 years back he used to teach, that is different than what we are practicing now, because the times are different, the times are changing, the quality of human beings changing, the conditions are changing. That's why the processes are also changing. Go to the next slide. The nature of devotion and bhakti, as we have already learned everywhere, that bhakti or devotional service or loving devotional service, this is the best and only thing we should practice. The text passionately asserts the unparalleled value of bhakti as the highest form of worship, especially in Kali Yuga, where it offers a direct path to liberation. We don't have to do anything else. If one does this chanting correctly, then he will be liberated in no time. Should be no doubt about it. And this theme compellingly emphasizes the central tenet of Vaishnavism. Unwavering devotion to Lord is the most effective means of attaining spiritual realization. Only thing we should do devotional service, practice devotional service as per the rules and regulations which are given in the Shastras, which are told to us by the sadhus, which are told to us by our Guru. That's all. It powerfully suggests in an age rife with distractions and challenges, sincere devotion can shatter the bonds of material existence, guiding individuals toward self-realization and embodying the divine mercy that facilitates salvation. If we do it sincerely, then divine mercy is 100% available to us. the Lord will be Lord is very, very merciful, and He will certainly shower His mercy on us. That's why we should totally depend on Him. We should totally surrender to Him and do our job very, very sincerely and associate with the devotees. That's all. These are very simple things to do, and we should keep on doing. And the role of association with the devotees, this also we have been discussing again and again. The text eloquently highlights the critical importance of associating with pure devotees in Kali Yuga to nurture bhakti and realize spiritual aspirations. Like there is the quality of the devotees also, as we have already learned, first class, second class, third class, like this. And if you by chance just see a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord who is liberated, then all your sins will get nullified then and there. That is what is the influence in Kali Yuga. And by showcasing the evolution of worship practices, this theme reveals the dynamic nature of spiritual expression and emphasizes the necessity of adaptability in religious observances. And this theme emphasizes the transformative power of communal spiritual practice and enriching effect of devotional association. We are talking of sadhu sangha, and we are speaking of communal practice, that is the congregational worshipping of the Supreme Lord. It reinforces the vital belief that spiritual growth flourishes within community and relationship, affirming that individual progress is often supported by shared devotion and collective practice. That's why this collective practice, congregational practice is very, very important rather than individually doing the same thing. Next, the mercy of the Supreme Lord. The text powerfully conveys the Lord's boundless, merciful nature, especially in how he compassionately accommodates the fallen souls of Kali Yuga. Like in this Kali Yuga, more than 99% of the people they are fallen. Still, they are being accommodated compassionately by the Supreme Lord, offering them a straightforward path, congregational chanting, chanting the name of the Lord to salvation through chanting and devotion. So simple. And this theme is crucial for grasping the compassionate essence of God, of making him accessible to all. The Lord is accessible to anybody and everybody, not only to the Brahmanas or the Vaishnavas, to anybody and everybody, irrespective of their past actions. They may be greatest sinners, but still then they can start a devotional service. It highlights that divine mercy transcends the boundaries of justice rather than meting out punishment to the unworthy. It is not that the Lord punishes the unworthy people and he rewards the others. It is not that. His mercy is available to each and everybody. The Lord offers a path of redemption, embodying the foundational values of love and compassion inherent in bhakti tradition. So this is very, very important. And the concept of surrender, the significance of complete surrender to the Supreme Lord, complete surrender, not 90% or 80%, it is 100%, with promise that such surrender liberates one from material debts and responsibilities. If one just surrenders, all his debts to everybody will be clear. And this theme articulates a core principle of bhakti philosophy, relinquishing ego and material concerns in pursuit of divine service. It powerfully illustrates the transformative potential of surrender, suggesting that true liberation arises from recognizing one's dependence on the divine, which fosters a deep connection with spiritual reality. That means we have to be totally surrendered devotees of the Supreme Lord. Next, Kali Yuga is a unique opportunity. Despite its numerous challenges, Kali Yuga is framed as an extraordinary time when spiritual achievements can be realized more easily through practice like Sankirtana. It is more easy than all the other ages. And the theme accentuates the paradox of Kali Yuga, where adversities create unique avenues for spiritual advancement. Though there are so many faults, but this is the best yuga to reach the Supreme Lord, to be liberated. The struggle of modern living can serve as a catalyst for spiritual growth, emphasizing resilience and boundless potential for divine grace to help individuals overcome adversity. Therefore, we should follow it without any doubt. Now, in conclusion, collectively, these thematic elements weave a compelling narrative of devotional philosophy highlighting the divine's adaptability, the significance of community, and the transformative power of sincere devotion in the context of our ever changing world. Now, here, what is most important, we should be very, very sincere in our efforts, then we will achieve anything and everything without any doubt. There should be no doubt at all in our minds, because the Lord is most helpful to us. He is most merciful to us. With this, let us take a 3-4 minutes break. And in that, you can ask your questions, or you can say your comments also. Any question or comments?
प्रभु जी हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
परीक्षित महाराज ने ये गुण देख के तो कलयुग को माफ किया था, है ना, कि
Yes.
नाम के द्वारा ही सबको लिबरेशन मिलेगा। ये गुण से बहुत प्रभावित हो गए थे परीक्षित महाराज जी।
Yes, Parikshit Maharaj could have killed him also, but he did not kill him because he found a very profound benefit in him, advantage in him. And as we have already discussed, the best yuga is the Kali Yuga. We should understand that, and we should take advantage of the Kali Yuga. Any other comment or question?
प्रभु जी इन सतयुगा, त्रेता युगा एंड द्वापर युगा, the life span is more compared to Kali Yuga. So it gives more chance in Kali Yuga, क्योंकि हमारा लाइफ स्पेन भी कम है, तो अगर जितना हम नाम लेंगे तो बहुत ही अच्छी बात है, क्योंकि सतयुग में तो हजारों लाखों साल जीते थे सब।
Yes, like in Satya Yuga, the lifespan is general lifespan is 1 lakh years. In Treta Yuga, it is 10,000 years. In Dwapar Yuga, it was 1,000 years. And in Kali Yuga, it is 100 years. But everybody does not reach that 100 also. But still then, in this limited time, one can achieve as one could achieve in Satya Yuga of 1 lakh years. By doing meditation for 1 lakh years, what one achieved in Satya Yuga, one can achieve the same thing in Kali Yuga by practicing devotional service for a few years only. This is possible. This is the highest advantage in Kali Yuga. This we should understand and take advantage of it.
Very true, Prabhuji.
Any other question or comment so far, whatever we have learned? Okay, if we have no other question or comments, then let us carry on. Now, what is happening in this conversation? Narada Muni is telling Vasudev ji to simply apply with faith all the principles of devotional service which were spoken by Narada Muni. And he is saying that the whole world has become filled with glories of the Supreme Lord. And Narada Muni is saying that the whole world has become filled with glories of Vasudeva ji and Devaki ji. because the Supreme Personality of Godhead has taken birth as their son. And he tells that you and your wife have manifested a great transcendental love for Krishna. And inimical kings like Sisupala, Pundarka, Salva, they were also always thinking of Krishna, but as an enemy. Still they were benefited. And he advises them that do not think Krishna is an ordinary child, because he is the supreme Lord, Lord of Lords, and the Lord has concealed his opulences, and he outwardly he is appearing to be an ordinary human being. And the Supreme Lord descends to kill the demoniac kings who are a burden to this earth. And thereafter, Sukhdev Goswami kept on saying that having heard this narration, Vasudev ji was completely struck with wonder, and thus he and Devaki Mata gave up all illusion and anxiety which had entered in their hearts. And regarding this story, what we have spoken, anyone who meditates on this pious historical narration between Narad Muni and Vasudev ji with fixed attention will purify himself of all the contaminations in this very life and thus achieve the highest spiritual perfection. This is what is the effect of hearing what we are hearing till now. Now, when the slide we see the thematic elements of BBT text 45 to 52 powerfully illustrate the exalted nature of devotion, the intimate bond between the divine and the devotee, the transformative essence of love of God, and true meaning of liberation. Now, one by one, we will see them. The exalted status of devotion. The text to celebrate the extraordinary position of Vasudevji and Devaki as the parents of Krishna, because they are the permanent parents of Krishna, the eternal parents of Krishna, illuminating their unparalleled devotion and immense glory that accompanies it. Though Krishna was their son, they loved him as much, and they were also devoted to him. And Vasudev's profound humility juxtaposed within this exalted status. He had such a great status, but he was totally seeing from the ground level, and that is what is his humility. Exemplifies how genuine devotees often underestimate their own spiritual accomplishment. That's why Narad Muni was reminding him of that. And this theme reveals that devotion, regardless of one's outward circumstances, is the ultimate benchmark of spiritual evolution. How you should make out who is a better person, who is not a better person. The devotee is a better person. The non-devotee is in a lower level. It affirms that even those deemed ordinary can attain the highest spiritual perfection through their heartfelt love and devotion. By one's love and devotion to the Supreme Lord, one can achieve the highest level. And parental love as a unique relationship. Vasudevji and Devaki, they were the parents of the Supreme Lord Krishna and Balrama. And the text delved into the relationship between Krishna and his parents, showcasing parental love, Vatsalya Rasa, is a profound expression of devotion that transcends conventional worship. In Vatsalya Rasa, in Vatsalya relationship, looking after their son, that is Krishna, or thinking about their son Krishna, and that is what is devotional worship. The bond between Krishna and his parents goes beyond servitude. It is characterized by an intimate, loving connection that fosters deep emotional exchanges. One should not think that it is dasya. It is loving relationship between the Supreme Lord and the parents. And this theme shifts our understanding of divinity from abstract concepts to a more relatable, experiential connection, underscoring the personal and relational nature of God. We should establish a relationship with the Supreme Lord and will be benefited. And then we go to the next point number 3, transformative power of love for God. The narrative conveys a compelling truth. Love for Krishna has the capacity to elevate even ordinary beings, including adversaries, those who think ill of him, those who try to kill him, do cause harm to him, to a state of liberation through their engagement with him, even if that engagement is adversarial. We have seen so many examples, including Kansa, Sisupala, and all others. They were benefited even though they had established a connection with Krishna as enemy also. And this transformative power of love offers inspiration and hope for all on the spiritual journey. If such people who by harboring an attitude of enmity toward Krishna, they got benefited. What about if we love sincerely the Supreme Lord? The text illustrates that even those who oppose Krishna can attain liberation by fixing on him. They were thinking about him 24 hours in a day, though as enemy, thereby highlighting the extraordinary potency of divine association. One should be associated with the Supreme Lord anyway, jena kena prakarena. And this underscores the boundless nature of Krishna's mercy, affirming that devotion in any form is profoundly transformative and leads to ultimate liberation. If anybody does this, he will be benefited only. There are only benefits, there is no harm at all. And the nature of liberation, liberation is depicted not merely as an escape from material bondage, but as a state of loving engagement with Krishna. And if one gets liberated in this life, he is known as Jivan Mukta. Then he does service to the Lord, and after leaving the one's material body, he becomes a permanent servant of the Supreme Lord in his Dhamma. And both devotees and demons find liberation through their connection to him. This we have to establish this connection. This is so important, albeit in different expressions. Narada's reassuring words reinforce the understanding that liberation arises from genuine devotion rather than being simply a disengagement from the material realm. If one thinks you leave the material world, go to the Himalayas, live in a cave and try to meditate, that is not the way. That is not the way. One should have a relationship with the Supreme Lord and worship Him in the way given in the Shastra. And this theme challenges conventional views of liberation, presenting it as inherently rational and personal. Establish a personal relationship with the Lord, rich with identity and love, rather than an impersonal void. Impersonal as the Mayavadis think of. Now, the next point 5, divine mercy and accessibility. The text proclaim a profound and liberating truth. Krishna's mercy is boundless and available to all, regardless of past actions or status. It is not that one should not think it is available to the prime minister or president of a state, or if one has progressed very much in devotional service, but his mercy is available to even a beginner, to anybody and everybody. And this inclusive approach underlines the value of every individual spiritual journey and attests to the accessibility of divine grace. It is accessible to anybody and everybody, despite one's limitations. Now, the narrative of demons achieving liberation serves as a powerful illustration that one's past does not limit divine grace. It is accessible to all who earnestly engage with Krishna. Like we have seen, all these demons, they have also gone to the spiritual world because they had established relationship with Krishna. They were engaged with Krishna, and that's why they were benefited. And this theme elevates Krishna as the ultimate well-wisher. There is nobody which is a better well-wisher than the Supreme Lord Krishna. All these demigods, if they are worshipped, they are also they also help, but that is up to a point. If you stop doing devotional service to them, then they will become very angry. Like example, the Brajavasis, they were worshipping Indra every year, but one particular year they did not worship. That's why Indra had to bring so much rains to destroy Braja. That is what is the nature of the demigods. Therefore, there is no requirement to go to any demigod. Our Krishna is full. He has got all the powers. He has got all the ability to help not only us but anybody and everybody of his creation, portraying him as a personal God. He is a personal God, deeply invested with the spiritual upliftment of all living beings. He wants to see that all of us are lifted to the highest level. And next point, the role of humility in devotion. Vasudeva's humility, despite his eminent position, serves as a guiding beacon for devotees, demonstrating that true humility is not a weakness but a crucial element for spiritual growth and deep connection with the divine. Thus, a devotee should have this quality, humility. And as said, it is not a weakness, it is a strength of the devotee. And this emphasis on humility nurtures a supportive and encouraging atmosphere for the audience spiritual journey. Now, the text shows that Vasudeva's eagerness for further instructions reflect profound spiritual insight and the importance of continuously seeking knowledge and connection with Krishna. He wanted to remain connected to Krishna. He wanted to know more and more. That's why he was asking more and more questions to Narad Muni. And this theme accentuates the vital role of humility in spiritual practice, reinforcing that self-awareness and acknowledgement of one's position, they're essential for deepening one's relationship with the Supreme Lord. This has to be understood very, very correctly. And in conclusion, collectively, these themes illuminate the profound richness of devotional practice and the transformative essence of love for Krishna, revealing a path that personal, relational, and deeply fulfilling. And devotional service is the best thing we should never forget to practice. And the comments of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on the same points we have already discussed. Devotional service bhakti. Central to this text is the profound emphasis on engaging in devotional service bhakti with unwavering faith. Narada passionately instructs Vasudeva to immerse himself in bhakti, showcasing the vital role that devotion plays genuine spiritual practice. Devotional service is very, very important. And this focus on devotional service illuminates the deep personal relationship between the devotee and the Supreme Lord, reaffirming that true liberation is attained not through mere intellectual analysis, not by the jnanis, by their study of the Vedanta Sutra, but through heartfelt love and devotion for the Supreme Lord. And that love should come from the heart and that should bind the Supreme Lord. And this theme powerfully encapsulates the profound essence of Bhakti philosophy, positioning devotion as the supreme path to spiritual realization while prioritizing an emotional connection to the divine over cold, abstract contemplation. We should establish an emotional connection, emotional relationship with the Supreme Lord. And the nature of the divine, the text eloquently articulates Krishna's dual nature, referring to his simultaneous existence as the supreme being and an ordinary child, and his hidden opulences, they are not seen, he does not bring it to the open, which are his divine qualities, not immediately visible, revealing his human-like form. When he comes, he tries to behave like a normal human being. He does not want Aishwarya to come in between the relationship. But when it is required, he does that. And this duality invites devotees to perceive Krishna as more than just a distant deity. It fosters a profound emotional bond by rooting the divine in the relatable sphere of human existence. The theme serves to illustrate the Purana concept of incarnation avatara, highlighting how the divine willingly embraces a lower form, like he has been taking the form of a fish, a boar, like this. He takes any form and every form, what is required for that time to intimately engage with his devotees, thus making the divine more approachable and accessible. Our Lord is approachable and accessible to anybody and everybody. And that you would have realized. And the next point, purification through association, devotee association, the close association of Vasudeva and Devaki with Krishna is portrayed as an agent of purification, suggesting that proximity to the divine is catalyst for spiritual perfection. And this aspect underscores the profound transformative influence of divine association and the capacity of loving relationship to fuel significant and personal spiritual growth, installing a sense of inspiration and hope in the audience. Therefore, we should establish a relationship with the Lord and behave as per that. And this resonates deeply with the Bhakti tradition, which asserts that being in the presence of the divine or fellow devotees can pave the way to liberation and enlightenment, underscoring the communal essence of spiritual practice and fostering a sense of connection and belonging in the audience. Congregational chanting, congregational worship of the Supreme Lord, this we have spoken so many times. And liberation for all, the passage boldly declares that both demons and devotees can achieve liberation through Krishna's all-encompassing mercy, highlighting the universality of divine grace and making the audience feel included and accepted regardless of their past actions. One might have done anything and everything in the past, but they are all forgotten by the Lord if you establish a relationship with Him and engage in loving devotional service. And this thing challenges the exclusivity often associated with spiritual salvation, demonstrating that Krishna's mercy is powerful enough to transcend enmity and hatred. Even if somebody is an enemy or even if somebody is a friend, both are benefited. It powerfully reflects Krishna's inclusive love, suggesting that spiritual liberation is attainable for anyone and everyone, regardless of their past actions, provided they engage sincerely with the divine. The word is sincerity. Let us go to the last slide. Overcoming ignorance. The text emphasizes the urgency of overcoming ignorance regarding Krishna's true nature and his role as the granter of liberation. We should not harbor any ignorance in us. Therefore, we should acquire that much knowledge of devotional service. By focusing on dispelling misconceptions, it underscores the necessity of accurately understanding the divine as a pivotal part of spiritual journey. In our spiritual journey, the Lord is in the center. He is everything. We worship Him and He helps us. And this theme is vital within the Bhakti tradition, where knowledge and devotion must coexist in synergy. Knowledge and devotion, we should have knowledge. For that, we have to study the Shastras. And the devotion, we should do the devotional practice, that is chanting, congregational chanting, worshipping the Supreme Lord in the deity form like this, and following all the principles given in the Shastras. It poignantly suggests that ignorance can obstruct the path of liberation, making the pursuit of clarity and understanding imperative. Therefore, we should study the Shastras to attain knowledge, and historical narration and purification. Meditating on pious historical narratives is presented as a pathway to purification and spiritual perfection. This highlights the extraordinary power of storytelling in spiritual traditions. There are so many stories you would have heard in Srimad Bhagavatam, hundreds and thousands of them. It is for that purpose where sacred tales serve as mirrors of reflection and meditation, guiding practitioners toward more profound truths. This theme beautifully illustrates the instructive role of scripture within the Bhakti tradition. The scriptures are very, very important, suggesting that engagement with holy stories can facilitate profound personal transformation and enhance understanding of the divine. That's why you should devote at least some time of a day in studying the scriptures, and these thematic elements collectively reinforce the profound foundational tenets of Bhakti philosophy, emphasizing the irreplaceable role of devotion. There can be nothing except devotion. Devotion cannot be replaced by anything else. This is what is being spoken. The personal relationship with the divine. We should establish a relationship with the Supreme Lord as per our temperament and the transformative power of love. If we love Him, He will love us. There is no doubt about it. And association as an essential to achieving spiritual liberation. This is association with the devotees. This is sadhu sangha. So with this, I come to an end of today's lesson 150. Now the session is open for question and answers. Thank you very much for listening so patiently.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद, प्रणाम। सो वंडरफुल क्लास प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी, ये पूरा 11 क्वेंटो में जो हम बार बार यही सब आते हैं, तो हमारा जो मन में दृढ़ीकरण जो मतलब बहुत ही अच्छा इम्पैक्ट पड़ रहा है, क्योंकि बार बार वही चीजें हमें बताई जा रही है, तो हमारा दृढ़ीकरण ज्यादा हो जाएगा।
Yes, it should be firm in our hearts.
Yes, प्रभु जी।
We have heard this many times, but now you are realizing it is making an impact and a permanent
इसकी वजह से
impact.
हमारा सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में चला जाएगा ये सब, क्योंकि पहले
Yes.
जब सुपरफिशियल ऊपर ऊपर से जाता था, अभी जो बार बार ये सब सुनने के कारण हमारा अंदर तो अच्छे से वो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन होने की ज्यादा शक्यता है प्रभु जी।
Yes, thereafter what will start? Manan. That means you will keep on remembering that. You will be thinking about that. And that is what is required. We are doing all these studies. The aim is that only, to remember the Lord always and every time. And this is giving us a chance. And that's why we should be engaged with this very, very sincerely.
वेरी ट्रू प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी, नारद मुनि जो है वो वसुदेव और देवकी जी को भी कहते हैं डिवोशन के बारे में इतना कि आपको ये करना है, वो तो हमें तो कितना करना है।
Yes. Yes,
कितना
they are
ज्यादा,
the
क्योंकि
parents.
वो लोग तो इतने प्योर डिवोटी है ही, और इतने नित्य नित्य मुक्त जीवी है, फिर तो हमें तो कितना करना पड़ेगा कि सीमा नहीं है कोई।
Yes, yes, but please remember that we should not think that Vasudeva and Devaki, they are in Aishwarya Bhava. That's why they are lower than Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata. It is not that thing. Both are at equal level. These levels are required. That's why the Lord is teaching us. Initially, we have to be in Aishwarya Bhava. And later on, by His mercy, we'll start loving Him. We are speaking of loving devotional service. It will not come by our own efforts. We do not have that power. We do not, even if we make efforts, it will not come. It will come with the mercy of the Supreme Lord. That has to be understood. That's why we should first do the devotional service is given in the Shastras. Then other things will come to us automatically.
Yes, Prabhuji, very true. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So wonderful class.
Any other question or comment?
No question, Prabhu. A wonderful session as usual, Prabhu. But like all these things, bits and pieces, we already know. But like everything came in a structure, Prabhu. Okay, in this Canto 11, all these chapters. Okay. So that is what I could think of, Prabhu. It's to give a structure, proper structure. Yeah. With
Yes,
all the things.
it,
Yeah.
it has come, it has been written by Vyasadeva ji, who is an incarnation, partial incarnation of the Supreme Lord. He has compiled this literature for people like us in Kali Yuga. Whatever we are studying, that is not the whole literature. It is much more than that, but he has compiled these things, only these things, because more things and complicated things, we with our limited intelligence will not be able to understand. That's why he has made it. And as you all are giving an impression that gradually we are understanding, it is percolating in our hearts and it will remain for a long time, and that will help us. And because of that, the Lord will be more merciful to us, and all our aims will be achieved without even asking for them from the Lord. Why to disturb him? He already knows what is to be done, what is not to be done. We should not ask anything. He will give us what is good for us. So all these good things are happening. You would have realized, all these devotees who are attending the classes for so many years, over a period of time, good things have happened to all of us, despite the tribulations we have faced, because they are part of Kali Yuga. But the Lord, so merciful Lord, has helped us in all our endeavors, all our efforts in this Kali Yuga. There should be no doubt about it.
Prabhuji, all 9 Yogendras are the son of Rishabhadev.
Yes, the sons of Rishabhadev.
Rishabhadev. Yes, Prabhuji. तो प्रभु जी, ये जो जैनिज्म है, अगर वो ये सब फॉलो करते तो कितना आगे बढ़ सकते थे?
Yes. And why they came to Nimi Maharaj? Because that story will be recorded in some point of time, and that will be told to the people in Kali Yuga. You see, all the sons of Rishabdev had 100 sons. 9 were these. Then 81 were, they were what? The
Pure Brahmanas.
Brahmanas.
9 were Kshatriya and 1 is Bharat Maharaj.
Yes, but Brahmanas, you remember, Brahmanas with qualities is given in the Shastra, not like the present day Brahmanas.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And they are the aim of all these 100 sons. They were to uplift the society, uplift the whole world, because they were ruling the whole world, the complete universe. And most part of the universe is not visible to us. What we say, the present day world extends to these areas, as you know from the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is not the complete earth. This is not the complete earthly planet. Many of the things, they are not visible because we do not have the power to see them. Any other comment or question? We have got lot of time. The concept we have learned is very simple. We have heard so many times, but it should percolate in our heart, should stay in the heart, and we should keep on remembering the various things we have heard from the Nava Yogendras.
Did you notice that the repeated mention of transformative nature of bhakti. Does everybody know what that means?
Yes, then we can discuss this. What is the transformative nature of bhakti? How it is transforming us? Any comment?
Yes, Prabhuji, transform.
How bhakti is transforming us?
क्योंकि धीरे 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 हमारा वो हार्ट को प्योरीफाई करती है, जैसे चारू प्रभु जी के जो 5 श्लोका है हमारे भागवतम के, उसके द्वारा हमारा हार्ट प्योरीफाई होता है, क्योंकि बारंबार सुनने से, बारंबार मनन करने से, फिर प्रैक्टिस करने से.
Very good, Dr.
The devotional service cleans the heart, Prabhu, first. Yeah,
Yes, like you see, I can tell you about myself. I do not know about you. About 12 years, 12, 13 years back when I attended Charu Prabhuji's classes, I attended Tattva Sandarbha classes. And you can't believe, I didn't understand anything. Everything was looking foreign to me, even though I had read that book earlier. I had read that book, but I was not understanding. And in the class also, initially, I was not understanding anything. But the understanding came over a period of time, and it came in the heart. And that's why that understanding is still there. That's why I can say it has transformed me. Like this devotional service, by listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, it will transform even the greatest sinner. If somebody takes a decision to attend the classes, to associate with the devotees and leave the bad things one was doing, he is certainly 100% he will transform himself and he will be one of the greatest devotees. There are so many examples in Srimad Bhagavatam we have seen. It is no wonder at all. It is that is the reason why the Lord has given us Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We should be very sincere in our approach. There should be no duplicacy in our behavior or thinking. Then the Lord is always there. As we learned, He is most compassionate. He just wants to see you doing some right thing, and He will forget your all wrong things committed. He is so merciful.
So do you see, just look at the people who are attending these classes and just reflect inwardly, all of you, how everyone's their own personal lives change, who we were before and who are now. What we were born with it, our very personality, our very nature has gone tremendous transformation for good, right?
Very true, Prabhuji, very true. और
And
प्रभु
that
जी,
is
सैटरडे संडे अगर हमें कहीं जाना भी होता है तो बहुत दुख लगता है कि हमारे क्लास मिस हो जाएंगे, क्या करेंगे. तो थैंक्स टू यूट्यूब ऑल्सो कि संजय प्रभु जी ये सब हमारे सब मिल जाते हैं, तो हमें एक आनंद होता है कि चलो हम सुन लेंगे. मगर बहुत मिस होता है, अगर हम कहीं भी जाते हैं तो सैटरडे संडे का क्लास मिस नहीं होना चाहिए बस.
so much appreciative that. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you very much.
The very transformative nature of bhakti, the very transformative nature of this bhakti, that is the main subject matter of this doctoral dissertation, And my university has invited me to give a seminar. It's a podcast right this Saturday, and I'm going to be talking about this transformative nature of bhakti,
प्रभु जी, अगर रिकॉर्डिंग होगा तो हमें भेजिएगा, हम सुनेंगे.
Yeah, I sent you all these things, and I'll ask them. I'm sure that you can all attend if you feel like. I'm sure they won't mind it, I shared with you the link also. It's going to be in the Zoom link, but I'll ask them if they will okay it, But that is just a kind of introductory webinar. Hopefully, probably they will ask me to continue in. So I'm probably going to end up, it's going to be doing in several parts. Eventually, I might develop it as a university course, it's a graduate level course, Uh, uh, it looks like that. So it is what I feel like I'm being auditioned for that. But this very transmuted nature of bhakti is personally affected so much. So that's the reason these 5 verses are really right on the tip of my tongue, actually. Just
You always discuss.
how logically it explains. The modes of material nature is the very cause of why we are in this material world, and that controls us so much. But just because we are born with it, that's right in our very DNA, genetics, and that is the reason uh, should not kind of disappoint any of us. Just because we are born particular way, we don't need to remain that way. That's why Krishna himself said in Bhagavad Gita, Abhijatasya, just because you're born, it is within your power to change that yourself. And that is the bhakti process that allows us to do that. And that is the point I want to bring it out in this webinar. Um, so it has a potential, if Krishna willing, Krishna, we don't know what Krishna, but whatever it does, look at it, what's happening in my life now. All these so dramatic things are happening. Very, very dramatic. This 2026 is going to be the pinnacle of all this thing, last quarter of a century that I've been struggling to do with all of your support. That is now coming to fruition, fruit. So I'm really very, very grateful to all of you. There are hundreds of people who came and left. Sanjeev Prabhu knows how many people left. Some of them very, very sincere devotees came and left. Just like this in this, our Bhagavatam advanced course, in the beginning there are 21 people were there. Now look, we are now stuck with only 10 or 11 people. It's so we don't know what is the game Krishna is playing, but see, if we remain attached, no matter what happens, Krishna gives such a wonderful, wonderful gift to all of us. And our gift is what? Is to glorify the bhakti process to Him. That is our biggest gift. And don't think any of you, every one of you are very, very fortunate people. Very, extremely fortunate. Just look at the people on the street. They don't know much about this thing. Thank you
Yes,
so
bhai.
much.
Very sure, very sure. Yes. It's-
We should thank you, Chitendra bhai. Thank you for
we
that.
are
Yeah.
we are very interested. अगर
It's,
हमें
You have
जो-
it's
brought us.
not me
You have brought
personally.
us to this.
It's all of us together. We have achieved that. And Sanjeev Prabhu, if you really want to thank someone, Sanjeev Prabhu is the
Yes,
real
Sanjeev
one.
Prabhuji.
He is the
Really.
one who made it possible. When we first,
And Prabhuji, thanks to this electronic media also.
yes,
By this,
well,
we can use,
but he has the far sight to
yes,
make use of
Prabhuji.
this online teaching.
Yes.
Very
I
nice.
didn't know nothing about it, all this online
Prabhu,
teaching.
without you,
That's when I
nothing
started.
would have been useful, Prabhu. It's only you,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Sanjeev Prabhuji. Thank you very
Together.
much.
You're
We are
great.
grateful to
Without
you.
Charu Prabhu,
Sanjeev
nothing
Prabhuji,
useful.
your contribution is invaluable.
Very
And
true,
then,
Prabhuji.
and then look at the personalities like Sharad Prabhuji joined us. How lucky we
Yes,
are.
yes, yes, भाई जी.
हम कहीं
Thank you,
कहीं दूसरे
Chitara
दूसरे
Prabhuji.
जगह पे है, मगर हम सब साथ है, ऐसा है. गोल
So
एक है हमारा.
so every single one of you have been tremendous value to me, to my efforts. I am no more alone. Thank you so much. Haribol.
Thank
Hari
you.
bol.
So,
Hari.
Thank you very much.
Sanjeev,
Yeah,
Sharad
that's
Prabhuji,
very
well done. Wonderful job.
Haribol.
And
Yeah,
always.
Thank you,
very
Sharad
wonderful
Prabhuji.
class today, Prabhu. The points, some points, like lot of key takeaways, but one, like you mentioned, Bhagavatam has so many pastimes, so many stories. That's so true. Like it's always like I think when the last minute comes of life, if I can remember Canto 1 this, Canto 2 this, how Bhishma departed, then nice, successful life. Thank you, Prabhu.
But this this Navayoganda's teachings, so much everything about bhakti process is compressed in these 9 questions, and now very soon we'll be starting Uddhav Gita. Uddhav Gita, everything that we need to know, even there's much more than Bhagavad Gita, is there in Uddhav Gita. We'll be starting very soon. Okay.
Yes,
So it
भाई
is
जी.
part of the 11th canto.
Yes, ये मैंने
Thank you so
read
much.
की है उद्धव गीता. It's very बहुत अच्छी है.
बहन जी, आपने तो कमाल कर दिया है. कहाँ से कहाँ आप पहुंच गई है.
भाई जी, इतना ज्यादा नहीं हूँ, लेकिन
मैं तो बहुत ही ये I'm really amazed where from you such a short time you made such a great tremendous progress. Samata Mati, every one of you now, every one of you. अब सक्षा माता जी, आप जब एक वीक नहीं आ सकते हैं ना, तो we all miss you so much. And now today I was so glad that Lalita Priya Mataji joined us, even in such difficult medical conditions. She joined us.
Yes, Prabhuji, we are so happy to hear her voice. So happy.
Yes.
So wonderful.
Of course.
By Krishna's mercy. And we all remain as a close-knit family. Okay. I hope none of you will leave me until the very end. Okay.
No, Prabhuji. No, never.
Oh, nobody is going to leave you.
Thank you.
बिल्कुल नहीं. Never.
Thank you so much. So, Sharat Prabhuji, the final words you want to say?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. If there are no more questions or comments, then next weekend we'll have Govinda Vasya related lesson on Saturday, and on Friday and Sunday I have the classes. So with this, we'll have
coming Saturday Prema Mataji ka class hai, Prabhuji? Coming Saturday?
Yes.
Okay.
And I shared with all of you her PowerPoint.
Yes, Prabhuji. कल ही मैंने पढ़ा, बहुत अच्छा है.
Yeah.
Yes,
So, Prabhuji, if nothing else is doing, then let's conclude the class.
Yes.
Thank you, sir, Prabhuji. Very wonderful.
Rajkumari Mataji, you do please.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. I do. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Lad Dahine. Prahlad Lad Dahine. Hiranyakashi Purvaksha. Hiranyakashi Purvaksha. Shilatangkal Nakhalaye. शिलाटंकाल नखालाये इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बहे नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा बहे नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव कर कमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुत श्रृंगम दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगम केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जगदीश हरे जगदीश हरे जगदीश हरे तव कर कमलवरे नखाम अद्भुत श्रृंगम दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगम केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जगदीश हरे जगदीश हरे जगदीश हरे जय हो नरसिंहदेव 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 जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज जय हो प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय हो सब संतन की, जय हो सब डिवोटीज की, सब हो जय हो सभी चारू भाई जी, शरद प्रभु जी, संजीव प्रभु जी, प्रसाद प्रभु जी, अर्चना माता जी, समता माता जी, रक्षा माता जी, ललिता माता जी, नित्य सखी, ऑल दीप्ति माता जी, सब की जय हो, सब की बहुत बहुत कृपा, बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ सबका। थैंक यू प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्णा, हरे
Thank you.
कृष्णा।
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Wonderful session. Thank you, Charu Prabhu. Congratulations, Prabhu. Okay, everything
you so
will
much.
definitely go very well, Prabhu. Charu
Actually,
Prabhu.
if let me say one more thing. You know, it's my personal desire. If I really become part of the faculty here, my suggestion, all these things, so much knowledge you have gathered now, I think you're all of you are fully capable, qualified to get a degree in that. And this university is really promoting, and their fees are very nominal, especially for those of you in India. There's an Indian standard fees are there much lower. I would think I would ask you to think about it. Very easily you can get your master's degree.
We are
Yeah.
ready, Bhai ji, we
प्रभु
are
जी
ready.
ऑनलाइन कोर्स
Just think
है?
about it. Think
Why
about
not?
it.
Why not? Very nice.
Think
Very
about
nice
it.
proposal. Yeah.
We are
प्रभु जी
ready.
ऑनलाइन कोर्स रहेगा प्रभु जी अगर
It's all
करते हैं
completely online. It's online.
ओके प्रभु जी
Totally online. And I would recommend all of you.
प्रभु जी हमें सब डिटेल्स भेजिए, हम कोशिश करेंगे।
Yeah. So let me tell them. First of all, I'm going to ask them the permission for all of you to attend this webinar, and I'll tell them that you are all potential students, masters,
इसके
and
बाद
then
से हम progress
and some
कर
of you
पाएंगे।
might be very well qualified to do your doctoral degree also. You know, okay, because I would tell them that you have been with me for so many years, and you know so much about bhakti process, all of you. And if I have anything to do with it in designing the curriculum and bhakti, I'm going to recommend very highly one and every one of you. So it's a golden opportunity for you to earn a degree also here. You know, okay. Just right now, let's not jump ourselves. But this is my proposal. Think of you seriously, all right? Down the line.
इसके
Big
बहाने
goal,
से
प्रभु जी।
ज्यादा जल्दी से बढ़ेंगे। अगर ये चीज का है तो हम जल्दी
मगर हाँ, उसमें अगर आप मास्टर डिग्री कर रहे हैं तो आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा, टेस्ट भी लेनी होगी। टेस्ट भी
यस
लिखनी
प्रभु जी,
होगी,
भक्ति वैभव में हम दे ही रहे हैं ना टेस्ट।
या टेस्ट लेनी होगी, and you'll be on your toes. Okay, writing essays and things like that, all you have to do is part of the curriculum. Okay, but where there is a will, there is a way, right? They say. Sharad Prabhuji, Sanjeev Prabhuji, Archana Mataji, some of you are, I would recommend you for a doctoral degree. Consider that. Within about next about 2 to 3 years, you might earn your doctoral degree. Hi, Bob.
With your blessings, we'll try.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chandra. Thank you, sir,
So we'll
Prabhuji.
see you next week, every
Thank you,
one of
Prabhuji.
you.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank
Good
you.
luck, Prabhu. Congratulations.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम टू ऑल डिवोटीज।
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat pranam.
थैंक यू प्रसाद
Hare
प्रभु जी,
Krishna.
संजय माता जी। हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you, Sharad Prabhuji, Sanjeev Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.